Hi everybody, I hope you're well. Thank you for the invite to come and share a few thoughts on Psalm 18. And I know Earl would have put together some great teaching, and so I'm free to just share some thoughts of what come to me as I read through. I love this psalm. It's a passage that God has spoken to me many times over the years and has a really profound effect on my life. But the truth is, actually, as I read it, I realised most of those words have come through the first half of the psalm. And so reading the second half, it was quite difficult to decide what it was God wanted me to share. I found myself continually gravitating back to those well-known phrases and passages in that first half, that the ones that had spoken to me so much and served me so well previously. I don't know about you, but at the moment I find myself in need of God's comfort and reassurance. This second lockdown has begun to take its toll. I've homeschooled Sam, who's in year 11, since the King's School closed, and for the second year running, all of our plans and schedules have been thrown into disarray by the cancellation of exams. Home educators are rather out on a limb when it comes to alternate arrangements, and it's not straightforward, and I've found myself feeling overwhelmed at times and have definitely needed to dig into Jesus and to seek his counsel and his comfort and his sustenance. And as I read the second half of this psalm, I was struck by how much it had to say about the person of God. Do you know, it tells us that he's faithful. He's the one who goes before us. He's our avenger. He's blameless. He's the subduer of nations. He's our deliverer. He's worthy of praise. He's shrewd. He's a rescuer. He's the humbler of the haughty. He's light. He's a strength giver. He's the bringer of victory. He's perfect and flawless. He's unfailingly loving. He's our refuge, our Lord, our rock. He's our instructor. He's our protector. He's our security. He's our equipper and trainer. He's our sustainer and provider. And he is to be exalted. Isn't that an amazing picture word of who God is and how he interacts with us? I don't know about you, but I always find great comfort in the fact that God is on his throne, no matter what is going on in my life or in the world around me. I'm never alone, and nor are you. And as I read this list, I was struck again by how multidimensional our God is. There is no situation I can find myself in that is outside of his ability to be all that I need. As I dwell on this list, it causes me to bend my knee and worship him. He is our rock indeed. Situations which threaten to overwhelm me become manageable when I turn to him. This psalm reminds me that he gives you and I the strength we need, that he's the one who makes our feet like that of a deer, able to maintain our footing in the most unstable of circumstances. As I worship him, whether with a light heart or through tears, I find new strength. What seemed impossible is suddenly manageable, because in response to my cries, he makes the pathway broader so that I don't trip and fall, or as the psalm says, I don't turn my ankle. You know, the worry and despair I was feeling a week ago when I first sat to read this psalm has faded. The circumstances are no different. The path I'm on is the same, but I've been reminded that I don't walk it alone. My journey's outcome isn't dependent on my own abilities but on the one I travel with. You know, David may have sung this psalm in response to overcoming physical enemies, flesh and blood enemies, but his words are just as true for us today as we seek God's face in order to overcome whatever threatens our well-being. He is our rock. He is the victory giver, and he is still covering us with his unfailing love. Bless you. Take care.